Hi, my name is Keegan, and welcome to another round of tips and tricks. And today we're going to be talking about these guys, mushrooms. Love them, and gotta have them. So it's important when you're going with the mushrooms, you got to make sure that we pick the good ones, and we want to keep those guys and get rid of the bad ones. This guy, he's not very good. This guy looks pretty good. So what we're looking for is the texture. We want to make sure it doesn't smell fishy, earthy. And we want to make sure that it's nice and firm. And when it comes to storing mushrooms, we want to make sure that we use something breathable like this paper bag. Also stores really well. We don't want to use anything like plastic because it's going to make the mushrooms sweat and get all icky. So when it comes to cleaning mushrooms, we want to give them a nice little rinse. It depends on your preference really for the little stem. I like to cut this little tip off right here. And coming from these mushrooms specifically, we'll have these little edges that are from where they cut them off where they grow. Don't want to eat these. They kind of look enticing, but we make sure to give those a nice little trim. So when you're making your mushroom panini, there's so many different types of mushrooms. And today we've got some lion's mane, we've got some button mushrooms, this gorgeous little morel, and then we also have some oyster mushrooms. So like I was saying, we want to take off the tip of this guy. So I'm just going to give it a nice little swipe, and then I'm going to cut this in half, and then in half again, because we want a little bit of texture in this panini today. So now we're going to get these mushrooms some flavor. First, we're going to start off with a little bit of butter right in the pan. Spread it around. A little bit of onion. You'll notice for these onions, I have them kind of like thinly cut, almost translucent. And this is going to go a lot quicker than you think. I got some garlic, just going to grate some in. And then when it comes to cooking mushrooms, we honestly want to kind of teach it or treat it just a little bit like a fish. Shrimp's really easy to think of. We don't want to put those in until we're getting close to the end of everything being ready. We just want to give them kind of like a quick sear. That way they keep that nice plump texture. Put a tiny bit of this mustard in for extra flavor. And you're gonna add in a little bit of mayo, and that mayo is gonna be great, give them some extra moisture, trap it in. Now we're gonna add our mushrooms. That's about how long they cook. That's what we're looking for these mushrooms, just a nice sear. We're gonna put these mushrooms off to the side for a moment. And then we're gonna add a little bit more butter back to this pan for the bread. We have our pan on kind of a lower heat now. Just gonna put our bread right on that butter for a few minutes so it gets nice and crispy. I'm actually gonna put a tiny bit of mustard on the outside of this bread to give it that extra zip and zing. Okay. And then just a tiny bit more butter for the other side. And we're gonna assemble the inside of the sandwich while the outside is cooking. So we've got our rumana. We're gonna put it on each side of the bread. Just put in a couple little splashes of mayo. Don't worry, this will spread around as it gets hotter. We also cooked our mushrooms in it. Poured our mushroom mixture. If it falls off to the side, no worries, it's gonna taste great. We're just gonna give this a nice little flip. And I like to give it a nice little press. And we don't wanna turn it till the cheese gets kind of melty and kind of binds it together. So we've got our sandwich, it's nice and crispy now. So we're actually gonna turn off the stove, bring it over to our plate. Ooh, this looks so good. My mouth's watering. Oh yeah, cheese pull. There we go. Got our mushroom panini. Enjoy.
Thanks for watching Cooking Tips and Tricks. We can't wait to see what you make this week. Please tag us on Instagram and all your posts, and we'll see you next time.